that that type of event. So I just wanted to get more experience. So it was great for me. And you know what? They loved it because I let them know ahead of time.
You were transparent with them. You let them know.
I learned a lot.
You learned a
They
lot.
gave me so many playlists.
That's the whole thing. You can get better, so much better as a DJ. You can play any event, any genre, any ethnicity. You want to strive for that, right? To be the best.
Yeah, and that's because I wanted to. So I have some friends who definitely, I told them, hey, like you can make a lot of money and grow your business if you don't just do clubs. I mean, do you like playing top 40 music? Yeah. And like, would you be okay with learning how to mix certain things that right now you're not very comfortable with? They said there's no way, no matter for how much money, they're not doing it. They don't like it. Welcome back to another episode of The Clever DJ. Quick intro about us and the podcast right before we start. For those who are just tuning in for the first time or one of your first times, whether you are watching us on YouTube or listening on one of the other platforms, audio only. My name is Ilya. I've been a DJ for just about 2 years now, and I've done a variety of events. I hit the ground running after meeting Nino at a wedding where everything just took off from.
Yeah. Well, once again, my name is Nino, and I'm a professional DJ. I've been DJing for 20 plus years now. I started off with clubs and bars. Now I'm doing more private events, especially weddings, and now I have an established business with 15 DJs under my roster.
15 plus me. Yeah, so I don't do weddings by myself yet. Mm-hmm. Hence, I'm a beginner. I've done a lot of other kind of gigs. I've done gigs like weddings, like that one birthday at the hall where usually
at the hall
weddings take place. I forgot the name of the place, but. And the itinerary, everything was so meticulous. Everything was so specific. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of things to remember, but you were there to help me out too. Yeah. So we met while I was bartending.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man, I should join your team.
And I looked at this guy. Who's this guy? This guy's a waiter, bartender.
I was a bartender.
You were offering me drinks.
Yes. I was like, listen, man. Your life as a DJ is going to change because I'm joining your team now. Sure enough, no call, nothing. Took him 8 months.
Well, at least they
never call.
It was a text actually, right?
Yeah, text. And then did you say you want to talk on the phone or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I still have the text messages, by the way.
He keeps everything.
I kept them. But yeah, I've done a lot of gigs since then. Slowly getting into the weddings, doing it by myself. But I've been your social media and assistant.
Yeah.
For the most part,
showed me a lot of value with social media. I'm like, are you sure you want to be a DJ? You're a great photographer and videographer, man. You shouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, man. You think DJing is expensive?
Yeah, man. Getting into that field is.
I remember I bought my first camera, my DSLR. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a photographer now. Dude, my friend who's a professional photographer was like, okay, now you need this, that. I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
You're just
turning it to Costco. Oh, man. All right. So today we have a very special episode. It's how to prepare for a gig that is different from your usual style. So whether it's a different culture wedding, maybe you've never done
an ethnic wedding.
Ethnic wedding.
If you've never done clubs or bars,
bars, just something you've never done before, whether it's because of the ethnicity or the environment.
If it's a new bar or a club that just opened up too as well,
and you don't really know what's going to be acceptable there. Mm-hmm. How do you survive? How do you do well?
How do you survive?
So, you'll tell your story later.
Yeah.
So, first of all, you got to research the crowd and the music preference. So, if there's any way to speak to the client and find out from the client what kind of crowd goes there? What do they like? Maybe you can go and check. Maybe you can actually
the
drop
promoter.
in.
Yeah, you can go into the actual night, the club that you're potentially going to work at. It helps to see the actual what the DJ is playing, and just to see if everybody's vibing with the actual music and stuff, and be in the environments, because you're gonna be playing pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah, cultural research. Let's say I had to do my first wedding, or not wedding, a birthday, an Indian birthday. And I knew that they don't want just Indian music, but they wanted a mix of both. So I have a lot of Indian friends, and I am already accustomed to that music. I like it myself, actually, personally. But then I really did my research to make sure I don't skip something that might be important. I asked the client, just really care, really find out what you can about that culture, about the type of event, the type of crowd, all that stuff.
Ask for a list of favorite songs and genres, right?
Yeah, you got to curate a new playlist. So your playlists are great, but they're probably not going to work standalone.
So what the couple or the crowd wants specifically, ask them for playlists, so it'll help you figure out what they want specifically for the night, right?
Yeah, and
they're literally spoon feeding you, right? And like, okay, I like this song. You put that on the sets. Take it how you can, because trust me.
Be like, hey, what's that's the best one. What's your most favorite Spotify playlist? That's gold.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be on there. You can then get the music from different reputable sources, but you can find out from there what they're listening to, and then mix the music, mix old and new music, whether it's ethnic or non-ethnic, mix it together so it's not too kind of categorized in the night, and then half the people are not dancing and the other half are kind of like, having a great time. Just have a good balance.
Practice mixing it and stuff at home, so you know what you get familiar with the actual music, too, right? Because you already know, like, the English stuff is good, but mixing it in with the cultural stuff is a little different, right?
So got to practice different mixing techniques, right?
Yes.
Like the last wedding I was at was a Chinese wedding with very strong emphasis on Chinese music. And it was like very like ethnic, cultural kind of music. It did not work well with like, Canadian or US top 40.
Yeah, some clients and guests are straight from China or some
India,
country or India, right? So they want to hear what they're familiar with. So and English is not going to cut it. So that's why pay close attention to what the client gives you and pay attention to the requests that you're getting, right? Because they're gold.
Yeah, and again, learn how to kind of mix it in together properly. Again, it's not the most important skill, but it's going to make you look better. It's going to kind of not stump them when they're on the dance floor, right?
Be very flexible with how you mix too, with songs that are coming in when they request it, because you never know what's good. BPMs are going to be totally up and down, right? So be prepared to just take them on a journey and make sure you can mix it in properly, right?
Yeah.
Be quick.
Have an assistant with you. We spoke about it last episode. Have an assistant with you.
Yeah.
Preferably somebody who actually is from that culture or has experience in that kind of setting, whether it's the culture or a different kind of genre. What if it's hip hop? For example, I don't have a lot of experience with hip hop. I'll bring him with me. Or if he's probably busy at another gig, I'll bring somebody else who, I have a friend who loves listening to hip hop. He knows everything about hip hop.
They can help you with certain songs and stuff.
You bring them along, right? So I can do it. I can survive a night, but he knows everything. He knows the newest tracks, the best tracks, what to play, what not to play.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a DJ. It can be like a friend.
Anyone who knows
that type of music or same ethnicity and stuff, right?
Yeah. So it could be really helpful having someone with you.
It is.
Another thing is to be prepared technically. So I was at Middle Eastern events where they would play like certain drums. I know it's called the darbuka. So they would and it would have to be mic'd differently. There were a lot of like live music.
Yeah.
There were like different like looking guitars and stuff like that. There was a band, and they had to closely work with the DJ and do sound checks and see if everything like plugs in correctly, and it just make sure that technically you're prepared for any situation.
Yeah.
Go in, do a sound check, find out what you might be required to do that day.
Yeah,
Or night.
the band, you never know. Yeah, you're going to play with a band back to back. Make sure you don't play the same songs or whatever. It's going to be tough because it's ethnic and you probably don't even know the names of the songs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, it's
Which leads us to the next point. Engage with the audience. This is where you want to take requests. This is where you welcome requests. You want them to come to you and give you and ask for you to play certain music. Again, it can backfire if they ask for the wrong stuff, but that's when you have headphones. You listen to it and you are prepared, right? You did bring some stuff with you already, so don't waste it all.
Don't waste it all.
Within half an hour, because you might need it.
There's, if you're playing a banger, right? If people are just going crazy and just moving around, let it play for a little while, right? Don't cut it off really like quick, right?
I remember that you used to tell me that.
Yeah, don't cut it off too quick. They might get mad too. Like it's probably like a big song or a song that they love. If you cut it off too quick, they'll be like, "Why?" Yeah, I've in my early years, I've run into this situation a lot. So make sure to play it out and read the room. See their body language, how they're moving. If they're starting to slow down and fizzle out, then switch the song.
Right? I actually remember not too long ago there was a wedding where you honestly you played the song quite like you played like 75% of that song.
Yeah.
Now I was even thinking, is he going to transition that soon? And you realize that they were really enjoying it.
Yeah.
But you're like, okay, well, enough is enough. And then we got all these looks.
Still, right?
And you found a really nice way, because one of those looks came from the actual bride and groom.
Yeah.
And you found a way to bring it back. It was just genius. Like, it was so fluid. It wasn't like, okay, wait, let me stop this. Okay, let me bring this back. You emceed it back into like.
I brought it back, right?
And you brought it back in the right portion, like at the 67% mark or something, like right before like that drop, and the volume control is so important.
Volume is
Yeah. So be flexible. Understand that you'll be in situations where you won't be able to read the crowd that well because it's a new genre, right? Yeah.
You're not used to playing this stuff.
New genre, new
setting,
like new environment. Like it's not your usual go-to where you're feeling at home, right?
Take the feedback, whatever you can from whoever, like the client, the promoter, the guests, anything that you can get.
And normally you would actually get a lot of nice people coming to you who can tell you're bombing if you are. And then they'll be like, hey, listen, I think they'll like this song. If you play this, they'll dance.
You know what? This is my time. The time
waiting for you to.
Yeah. So, and early in my career, I played an Indian wedding, and I was like, okay, I can do this. I do the wedding, all Indian. They had dance performances, ethnic songs, pure, like. I was like, oh my God, this is out of my element right now. And then I learned that they didn't want any English songs. All their entrances, all Indian songs. I'm like, oh my God, okay.
Did you learn that when you were there, or did you do your research? Because you're a beginner, right?
Well, not really a beginner. I was still learning. I've done a few Indian weddings in the past, but usually they're mixed. Another ethnicity, right? So a lot of Canadian songs, a lot of US songs and stuff, but this one was pure. The bride and groom were both Indian, so it was tough. I looked at the time. It's 10 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I dropped a song. They're going crazy for the first 30 seconds, and then they start fizzling out. I'm like, uh-oh, what am I gonna drop next? So
sweating.
I'm sweating. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna drop next? And then people request, and I'm like, oh my God, okay, give me a song. And then I'd play it, and then they go crazy, and then after 30 seconds again they start fizzling out. Oh my God, I'm looking at the time. It's 10:15. I got 3 more hours of this. I'm like, oh, that was tough, man. And yeah, I don't know. That's
Get a 5-star review from that one.
I don't know. I don't know if
don't
I did.
remember?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't think so. But
do you
I
think they
did
were
well.
happy?
They were happy at the end, but they didn't know what I had to go through. And even the guests didn't know. They had no idea. There was just people randomly asking for requests, and I was really, really like hanging on them. Right?
How many years ago was this approximately?
I don't know, man. Like probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
so back then, was Spotify? Yeah, Spotify was a thing back then, no?
it was just starting, I think.
Yeah. So we didn't have the same tools back then.
Yeah, no, not at all.
YouTube was already a thing.
Yeah, it was just starting to get big at that time. I remember it was
10 years ago? No, it was... No, it was already like...
Okay, yeah.
It didn't come out like 2006 or 2000... Yeah.
Okay,
But still, we didn't have all the tools back then, right?
Yeah,
like
we
all
didn't.
the same kind of...
not what we have right now at the moment, like Spotify, Apple playlists.
I'm not sure
YouTube
exactly
and
when all
stuff.
that stuff came out, but
Yeah.
it was like in the middle of its or beginning of its.
So yeah, that was a tough one for me. And I've been in certain situations where it's similar like that, but I've done a really good job, like a decent job, like yeah.
Good job or
to my
decent?
standards. At that time, to my standards, I rocked it. All right.
You know what? And then speaking of rock, I almost forgot what I was going to say. Thank God you said that because that's what sparked that memory. We met when
Yes.
you were doing a rock event.
Yes.
It was either your first or like your most like intense rock.
It was because it was all rock too, right? So that was another one where I was, but no, I was prepared for that. I got
But
a lot.
it wasn't easy, right?
It wasn't
Especially
easy.
with somebody asking you what you want to
Yeah.
drink every 2 minutes.
Yeah, this guy gave me like
Hey,
10
would you like
Cokes.
this?
10 Cokes. So he just kept on giving me Cokes. So like, okay.
I used to spike them with rum.
Oh, that's why I did so well. But that was tough, man. I was sweating, but no, I was okay. I actually, it's different when it's English. You can still understand what they're saying, right?
I
And you
couldn't tell you had a tough time because it seemed like you were doing really well. I mean, like I couldn't tell you were stressing out.
That the thing is, you have to keep your composure, stay professional the whole time. But
The dance floor was full.
yeah. It was a Sunday.
I was gonna say it was a Sunday wedding,
It was a Sunday,
and it ended. I remember it ended so late.
Yeah.
the management was like, "Is he gonna finish soon?" Like,
It ended late, and then it started storming outside.
Did it?
Yes, I remember my gear got wet because I brought it outside too early. Oh, yeah, but yeah.
did anything suffer? Like, did you suffer any losses?
No.
No. Okay.
Luckily,
Oh man. Oh, I remember your laptop one day got soaked.
dude.
Did it not work or something?
It actually started that CPU, the keyboard got soaked when I was doing the ceremony outside, and then I had to do the reception still inside. I noticed some of the
Keyboard's
keys
not
weren't working. I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I couldn't even check my playlist or all my sets. I'm like, so I was playing pretty much off of my phone a playlist.
While you're like drying the
While I'm
computer.
trying to dry I had my fan blowing on the computer. Luckily, before the dancing started, it started working. I was like, oh.
And you're still using the same computer, right?
Yeah.
And this guy has a brand new MacBook.
I do.
MacBook Pro.
Yeah, I'm making the transition soon enough.
How long has it been?
Man, it's been a year or two. It's a couple of years.
it's hard when you have so much stuff on that laptop.
Yeah.
And you are blessed with like 20, 30 gigs every couple of weeks. So, and you have this team to run. Like, so I'm just saying, like, he's not lazy. He has a lot of stuff to
I have
do.
a lot of stuff to do. So sometimes time is very important for me, man. And you don't have a lot of it, right? So
He actually won't be at my birthday party.
sorry, are you butthurt about that?
Well, I thought you'd be there, but whatever.
I know it's a Sunday, but sometimes I do.
Yeah, Sunday. I thought you'd be there. Like, I made it on Sunday on purpose so everyone can show up.
Sorry.
I should have booked you a long time ago.
Should have booked me.
Yeah, but it's okay. We're gonna go for dinner after this.
Yes.
Dinner.
Yes.
Okay, we'll tell you. It's 1:05 a.m. They're closing at 3, so
Yes.
last call is 2. We can make it, right?
Technically, it's dinner for us.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll make it.
Oh, this is like our tradition. We eat pho.
Yeah.
You say pho, right? It's pronounced pho.
It is pho.
Yeah.
No. It is pronounced pho.
Yeah. I mean, it's spelled as PHO, but it's pronounced pho, right?
Pho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
The best.
This is our thing.
The best soup ever made
Ever.
on the planet. So yeah.
Yeah, so stay calm, stay professional. You'll probably get certain requests, or whether it's songs or just certain like requests to do certain things that are not the usual things you're used to.
Yeah.
Just, adapt, be adaptable.
Stay calm and professional, just like how I was. That's why you can notice like how
I didn't
was
notice. I had
sweating
no idea you were like stressing out.
Yeah.
And dress appropriately. Very important. I don't know why I just like pointed at you, but dress appropriately, because you never know how important it is to them, right? If you're obviously, you don't have to come in their like traditional clothing, but
you need to ask
find out how they want you
find
to
out how
show
you
up.
Dressed. Yes, exactly.
If it's something out of the ordinary.
Now,
maybe they actually
appropriately is like
do.
if it's a beach wedding, you wear beach attire, but you never know like what if the couple is gonna want you
What
to
if
wear too,
everyone's like
right? What if everybody's
suits?
decked out in suits? Yeah, exactly, right? So and then you're in shorts. And no.
Yeah. What else? So really, that's most of it. One more thing, we spoke about it before. I was at a Chinese wedding, and some of the songs I downloaded were with Chinese letters.
Yep.
Characters.
Yeah.
And Serato wasn't reading it correctly.
Yeah.
So I had to like rewrite everything and know what my music is. So be really prepared, because the last thing you want is to have all the music but not have it correctly in a playlist, right?
So be flexible too.
Be flexible.
Be ready to put in that work on that day, man, because it's gonna feel like work.
Yes. So yeah, that, and like we said, bring someone with you who can really help you out. If you have a friend or maybe a fellow DJ or maybe an apprentice who so happens to be from that culture or had some experience that you maybe didn't have, right?
It helps.
Definitely helps. And go on forums, go on, there's sites like DJ Tech Tools, there's Serato forums, there's digital DJ tips. There's just so many places where you can go and learn certain things, that
certain playlists and songs that go with each other, and like
Crate Hackers.
Yeah, Crate Hackers too, right? There's Beatport,
it's a good app.
SoundCloud, Mixcloud, all those great apps.
That's where you can get all your music as well. So really, you will discover what it's like only when you do it. This is something really stressful, but it's gonna elevate you to a new level.
You'll get better as you go along, and it's true for me. Like how I see it though, if you're not really comfortable with doing like say like a wedding that you're not like, especially like an ethnic wedding, right? If you are totally out of the dark, I would honestly leave it up to a professional, like someone who knows.
If you're really out of that element, if it's out of your element and you
if you're not
don't want to screw it up,
and if you're not gung-ho in learning it, and if you're not going to, in the future, if you know what kind of DJ you're going to be, right, and you don't want to go into that like ethnic route, right, give it to someone else that's more qualified to do it.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want to ruin someone's day, right? And I never did, but it could have been better, right?
Or if like you're a club DJ and you like EDM, but then you're getting a wedding that's completely out of your element.
Out of your element,
yeah,
right? Now, if you're gung ho to doing it, you can do a good job. Yeah, you can get away with it. You can do a good job and probably kill it, right? Depending on if you care, if you're flexible, and if you just go for it, right? But there's some DJs that don't want to do certain genres, right? So stick to someone that knows what and how you can do it properly. Right?
Yeah, so maybe you can give it to another DJ for a finder's fee. Maybe you can just, hey man, or hey girl, I'll give you this gig, and maybe you can give me something that is more like my type of gig next time. So build relationships.
Build relationships with other DJs, right? Because you never know, like what they'll get, what they'll give you as well. You can be transparent with the couple and tell them, this is not what really my forte, but you hired me for a reason, so I could do it, but it would be
Prepare
different.
them. Yeah, let them know
Let them know.
Hey, you should maybe go for example, I had an event and it was, again, another birthday. I do lots of birthdays. And they were all newcomers from India.
Yeah.
And I told them, hey, by the way, I have lots of Indian music. Like I've done Indian events, but I have some contacts who are the top here in Toronto. They are the ones you want to hire.
Now, it's different. It doesn't matter if you have the music, that's great. But it's different when you understand it, and the ethnicity is
it's different. You gotta really understand their ways and
the cultural nuances.
Yes, right? And what they will appreciate, not just music, everything, but some of them, music is one of the most important things to them, right? Which makes sense at certain events. And I told them, listen, like I have like the top 3 DJs for you, but I can still do the job. Just be prepared that, maybe I won't know everything about your event or what you're looking for. So you'll have to work with me and give me some information, and we can do, we can prepare, we can plan the event correctly. And they said that they couldn't hire those DJs because they're extremely expensive.
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't charge that much because that wasn't my forte. So I'm definitely not charging, overcharging or anything like that, because that's not an event I usually do. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to kind of get into that type of event. So I just wanted to get more experience. So it was great for me. And you know what? They loved it because I let them know ahead of time.
You were transparent with them. You let them know.
I learned a lot.
You learned a lot.
They gave me so many playlists.
That's the whole thing. You can get better, so much better as a DJ. You can play any event, any genre, any ethnicity. You want to strive for that, right? To be the best.
Yeah, and that's because I wanted to. So I have some friends who definitely, I told them, hey, like you can make a lot of money and grow your business if you don't just do clubs. I mean, do you like playing top 40 music? Yeah. And like, would you be okay with learning how to mix certain things that right now you're not very comfortable with? They said there's no way, no matter for how much money, they're not doing it. They don't like it.
Yeah.
Right? So
I understand that too.
Yeah.
You have to understand it.
So do what you love.
Yeah.
Do what you love. And if you don't like something, think about their event. Give it to someone else.
Yeah. It's the right thing to do.
All right.
It's the right thing to do, yeah.
Well, there we go. Another special episode from
another
the Clever
banger
DJ.
of an episode. Yo!
So thank you very much for joining, and see you next
See you in the next one, guys.